So we're out here at Ellington Field at the Lone Star Flight Museum, and Ellington Field is pretty cool. It may sound familiar to you because if you watched Apollo 13, if you watched any real space movies, they talk about Ellington Field quite a bit because they do a lot of pilot training here, and that's what happened in the early 1900s. The city of Houston petitioned that the military put a base here, and they did in 1917. It was primarily pilot training. However, they did do bombardier and navigator training here, as well as training from pilots of other countries here. In 1976, though, they kind of shut it down. I don't know where it's at exactly here from relationship to here, but there is a huge building here that if you've seen Armageddon or you see any of the space movies, that pool that they train in, it's here on Ellington Field. The flight line is right out here. That's where all the pilots take off and stuff like that for their flight training. And the last time I was out here in Ellington Field, I was a Cub Scout. We came out here for a little event, and when you came through, like, these buildings weren't here. It was all like old World War II dilapidated buildings, and I was like, what the heck is this place? But from 76 to when they shut it down to, I'd say, 88, those buildings went down pretty quick. But Ellington Field is just, I don't know, a 10-minute drive right off of 45, so it's not that far to come to. So if you want to check out the museum, I really highly recommend that you do it, especially if you're an aviation aficionado. I'm not an aviation aficionado, but I like it enough to where I go check them out because I think it's pretty cool to see historic planes in cherry mint condition. So let's go check it out. this DCA over here, it first flew December 17th of 1935. It was the 32nd anniversary of the Wright brothers, and some of the amenities on the DC-3 included sleeping berths and an in-flight kitchen. And that, during that time, revolutionized the air travel in the world. So such airlines like so this one's Continental, but they had TWA, American, United, and Eastern Airlines. They all paved the way to what we have now. Continental, if I remember correctly, it was taken over by United. They merged that way. But I've actually flown on Continental several times. Now I just really feel old. Behind me is a Curtiss Triad A1. In 1911, the U.S. Navy purchased 14 of them. They were the first aircraft ever purchased by the Navy. They were purchased because they had retractable landing gear, making them operate in air and be able to land on sea or land. The S-76 Swarovski helicopter was the first helicopter designed for commercial purposes for the civilian market. It was designed after the same rotor system as the UH-60 Black Hawk, and it made its first flight in 1997. It's the S-76 because it was to honor the bicentennial of our country. And in 1982, it set 12 world records for range, speed, ceiling, and climb for its class of helicopter. Today we're in Ellington Field. If you're not sure about Ellington Field, but it sounds familiar, if you watched any space movies about NASA, it would have been mentioned there, because this is where they do all their flight training, and they even have the big pool that they train in here on Ellington Field. So we're at the Texas National Aviation Museum. What's cool right now is I'm in 0G and I'm trying to find my way around the space station. It's really cool. It's out of this world. Nah, I'm just like the people in the space station that's on TV. I'm here in Houston. There's no problem. But it's pretty cool to see what the inside of the space shuttle would look like. Pretty cramped and not very sexy. Not very sexy at all. What do you think? So over here behind me, we got Dex. It's a dexterous robotic assistant. They created it to help astronauts on space and other worlds. So to me, it looks like Iron Man and Thor had a baby. They call it a Centurion. And then that right there, that module, it's like the lunar rover, lunar module, and the actual command module all tied up into one in here, so it can drive around on wheels. The astronauts can ride it like a little dune buggy in space, or in northern Canada, depending on if you believe they're actually been on the moon. I'm not here to debate it. I don't care one way or the other, but it's just interesting. This is cool. This is called the CES, the Crew Escape System. So there are several ways to get out of the space shuttle, and if they need to get out of the space shuttle, once they enter Earth's atmosphere, they would release this and they would launch off of it and go into space. There's a picture here of somebody trying to get off of a C-130, C-141. But I'll try to show you the picture, see if it can come out. It's pretty cool to see it, like, so high up. I don't know. I may pay $15 to try that at Six Flags. Let's check it out. You think being an astronaut is cool and glamorous? Let's check out their menu for day 1 and 8. Dried apricots, sausage patty, seasoned scrambled eggs, granola bar, tortilla, strawberry drink, mango peach smoothie. Then you had for your lunch hot and sour soup, crackers, beefsteak, tortilla, peaches, macadamia nuts, cherry blueberry cobbler, and tea. And then for dinner, you would have sweet and sour chicken, shrimp cocktail, broccoli au gratin, tortilla, strawberries, chocolate pudding cake, and strawberry drink. A lot of sweet and sour. Having to memorize where all these switches were here plus down there. Like, I need you to hit switch number 132. Is that the 17th from the right or the 3rd from the left? Hit them all, just like at the elevator. have a section called the Flight Academy. I thought it was like a place for kids, but it's not. It basically teaches you the principle of flight, and it works all the way around to a movie that talks about all the different stages of flight, from propulsion to jet and everything in between. It's got all the Newton's laws, 1, 2, and 3. I thought there was just one law. Eat too many Newtons, get upset tummy. I feel the need for speed. Too easy. Hang gliding wasn't as much fun as a fighter jet. So they have a heritage section, and right here they have a map of a base. And as soon as I saw it, I knew which one it was. It's Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. I could tell because they have the Taj Mahal right there. Basically, it's a water tower that they decorated and made a building underneath of it, including a movie theater, and it looks like the Taj Mahal. Not really, but that's what they call it. It's the Taj Mahal. See, the Taj Mahal, Randolph Field. How'd I know? So, underneath it, that's a water tower right there. Underneath that is just the base of it. Then they have offices here and here, but on the back side is the base movie theater. And they got like JAG and stuff like that in here. I don't know if they're still there, but that's where they were last time I was in that building. And then all these houses right here, still there. Every bit of it is still there. Needs to come down. That's pretty dang old. That building right there is not there though. That's gone. That's still there too. Commissary is right over here. I know, you don't care. Back to the museum. In my heart, I'm Army. I have like the other branches are like those like crazy cousins, like Cousin Eddie. That's why on here we see the Army airfields and the Navy airfields. They got lost up here in Dallas somewhere, where everybody else is, I don't know, by the coast. Except for that one in Beeville. I don't know what they're doing. Probably looking for water. It's Texas. There's none. Since we're in a Texas Aviation Museum, I'll talk about it. So Randolph Field's still open. Kelly Field is closed down and it's been taken over by civilians during the BRAC, but it's tied to the same airfield as Lackland Air Force Base. And then Brooks Field is now Brooks City Base, and they still have a World War I hangar from all this training that they're talking about here, right there. And you can even rent it out for private engagements. It's pretty cool. I saw what they did. They think they're slick, but I saw what they did. We are in the Waltrip hangar. This one has larger planes in it. It has a B-25 Mitchell, the same model that was used to drop the bombs in World War II. They even have a full-size Predator up here. So they have simulators in here as well. If you want to go and get topsy-turvy and have some fun, you come over here to the Waltrip hangar. So behind me is the USS Hornet replica, and on top of it are all the B-25 Liberators to signify the launch of Doolittle's raid into Japan. Now what's cool is down here at the back end of it, well, I guess the forward part of it, they have this board right here, and it's signed by all the people that were with Doolittle on that crew that dropped the bomb. So that's the Enola Gay right there. How cool is that? Well, if you like scavenger hunts, make sure you check out this video a couple times, because they have little stuffed animal aviator bears hidden throughout this museum. So see how many you can find and post in the comments how many you're able to find. I don't know what the exact number is because I lost count, but let's just see what you guys come up with. I'm pretty sure it's not 100,000 million. Well, that concludes our time at the Lone Star Flight Museum. What did you think? Which one did you like the most? I wasn't expecting a Predator to hang from the sky, but it's always cool seeing World War I and World War II aircraft in vintage condition. So let me know in the comments what you liked.